Hello guys, welcome back to another exciting video and welcome back to RALLYTOP Investing. In this lesson or this episode, I want to teach you how to stay away from break of structure and CHOCH traps in the market. There is something that is known as break of structure traps and CHOCH traps. CHOCH stands for change of character. A lot of the times, you find retail SMC traders who do not have the knowledge being trapped on the wrong side of the market when they are using either break of structure or CHOCH. All right? But in this video, I'm going to show you step by step on how to avoid this kind of traps in the market. And I can assure you that this is going to tremendously improve on your trading skills if you can follow me step by step till the end. All right? Now, in doing so, we have very important rules we need to observe when we want to identify our swing highs, major swing highs and lows in the market. By the way, I want you to know that your swing highs and lows are created on all time frames. All right? But you don't want to start from the lower time frame to map up or mark up your structures. You want to start from the higher time frame. Remember, your higher time frame could be the 1H, could be the 15M, it could be the 5M, depending on the asset you are trading. All right? Now, what are these three important rules that you need to identify? You need to observe before you identify the correct swing highs and lows in the market. Number one rule is this: to identify the correct swing highs or lows, inducement needs to be patched. That's the first rule. Inducement is needed for your swing high or your swing low to be valid. Number two rule is that to identify higher low or lower high, price must take out major structure with candle closure. Take note of this. I'm going to show you all of that on this diagram now, or in this diagram. Number three rule is higher low or lower high is confirmed only when the price leg creates a 1, 2, 3 pattern. All right? Now, let's get to the chart. Let's get to this diagram and let me show you what I mean by all of these three important or key rules. Now, I intentionally, all right, created this chart like this because when you get to your live chart, most probably, or something, you will get something very close to what you are seeing right now. I do not want to give you picture perfect diagram that when you get to your chart, you may not be able to find it. And this is why a lot of traders get confused when they get to the live chart and they want to take trades. They are confused in identifying their structures in the market. But this diagram, as twisted as it is, will give you a proper understanding on how the market actually moves. All right? Now, let's start from here. Price printed this low and created this high. This high must, for this high to be confirmed as a valid high, this rule number one has to be met. And what is this? What is the rule number one? It says to identify the correct swing highs or lows, inducement needs to be patched. So inducement is needed. If you don't understand what we mean by inducement, your inducement is the first internal structure low in the case of a bullish structure and the first internal structure high in the case of a bearish structure. So if you don't have an idea about what we mean by inducement, please go back to our playlist. We have about 2 videos there in depth about inducement. Go watch that video first before you come to this one. It will help you a lot. So the first rule says inducement has to be taken for your swing high to be confirmed or your swing low to be confirmed. In this case, this your high did not take any inducement, so it cannot be valid. So it didn't meet rule number 1. It cannot be valid. Now we move to the next high. For this next high to be valid, rule number 1 has to be met. Inducement has to be taken. And where is the inducement here? Well, the inducement in the market is simply this one. Okay, this is your inducement in the market. And as you can see, price has taken out that inducement to confirm this rule number 1. Can you see that? Price took out that inducement. And once that inducement is taken out, that means your high is confirmed as a valid swing high. So that high is confirmed. But your higher low cannot be confirmed just yet until it meets this rule number 3. What is rule number 3? Rule number 3 says higher low or lower high, depending on the direction of the market, is confirmed only. Please underline the word only when the price leg creates a 1, 2, 3 pattern. What do I mean by a 1, 2, 3 pattern? I'm going to show you. This low, higher low here cannot be confirmed until this higher leg produces 1, 2, 3 pattern. And what is the 1, 2, 3 pattern? Look at it. 1, 2, 3. That leads to this break of structure. All right? 1, that is impulse, correction 2, impulse again 3. Without you seeing this 1, 2, 3 pattern, this low cannot be validated as a higher low to support this higher high. No, it cannot be validated. So now we have 1, 2, 3 pattern. So our higher low now, and remember, price has broken this structure here. This one, price has taken it out because rule number 2 has to be fulfilled. Okay, price has taken it out. This is rule number 2. To identify higher low, lower high, price must take out major structure with candle closure. So this rule number 2, number 3 is meant for this higher low in the case of a bullish structure. And as you can see here, price has taken out that major structure high and close above it. You need candle closure to be validated. So that's your break of structure there. And therefore, this your higher low, having met rules number 2 and 3, can now be identified as your major higher low in the market. Simple. Can you see that? After that, price now created a new high. For this new high to be confirmed, rule number 1 is necessary. And rule number 1 is asking for inducement to be taken. And where is the inducement in the market here, guys? This is the inducement for rule number 1. All right? For this high to be validated, you need rule number 1. But as you can see, price didn't come down to take out this inducement before creating a new high. So this high is not confirmed. Whereas retail traders will mark this as a break of structure. This is not a break of structure, guys. This is a trap. Once you mark this as a break of structure, you will look for an OB here. And most of the times you will be trapped because price will take out that OB. All right? Now, price printed this new high. For this new high, this high to be confirmed as your swing high, rule number 1 is needed. Inducement is needed. And where is the inducement here? Well, your inducement is now transferred from here to this point. Simple. And as you can see, it didn't take it out before creating a new high. For this new high to be regarded as a swing high, rule number 1 is needed. Inducement is needed. So you can transfer that your inducement to this point. And as you can see, inducement was not taken out before creating a new high. For this new high to be confirmed as a swing high, rule number 1 is needed. Inducement must be taken. And where is the inducement here? Where your inducement can be transferred from here now to this point. To this point. And as you can see clearly, inducement was taken out there. So rule number 1 has been fulfilled there. So we can actually now mark our high as our major swing high. This is our swing high now, guys. Now, after that swing high, this your higher low cannot be confirmed until rules number 2 and 3 are met. Rule number 1 and 2 and 3 must be met for this higher low to be confirmed. And what is rule number 2? Rule number 2 says to identify higher low or lower high, price must take out major structure with candle closure. Did it happen here? Look at it. Rule number 2 happened here. Price has taken out this major structure, and that is known as a break of structure, guys. Once that break of structure happens, now we go to rule number 3. For this low to be confirmed as a valid swing low, it needs to also meet rule number 3. Rule number 3 says higher low or lower high is confirmed only when the price leg creates a 1, 2, 3 pattern. All right? The price leg must create a 1, 2, 3 pattern, just like this one that you find. 1, 2, 3. Or you start from this low. This is 1, 2, 3. All right? Or if you like, 1, 2, 3. It has to create this 1, 2, 3 pattern. All right? Like this one. All right? It has created this 1, 2, 3 pattern. 1, 2, 3. That leads to this break of structure. 1, 2, 3. That leads to this break of structure. All right? You must create it. But in this case, did it create that 1, 2, 3 pattern? No. It didn't create the 1, 2, 3 pattern. Look at only one leg. No 1, 2, 3 pattern. So will you mark this as your higher low? No, because it did not fulfill rule number 3. This will keep you away from trouble. These rules I'm telling you now, if you follow them, will keep you away from trouble. It will keep you away from being trapped in the market. So there is no 1, 2, 3 pattern. Why will you now mark this as your higher low? So since this is not a higher low, what then does it mean? It therefore means this is inducement. That's rule number 1. For this high to be confirmed, inducement is needed. So this high is no more valid here. This one is no more valid because there is no higher low. Break of structure is no more valid here because there is no higher low. Okay? So now it created a new high. For this high to be confirmed as a valid high, rule number 1 is needed. And what is rule number 1? Inducement has to be taken out. And where is the inducement here? Your inducement now is no more valid in this place. So your inducement is taken from there to this place. All right? That's your new inducement. This inducement is no more valid here. Okay? Now, as you can see, price has taken out this inducement. As you can see, it has taken it out. And therefore, this high has fulfilled the first condition. So we can mark it now as our swing, major swing high. This is our major swing high. And this, our low now, cannot be confirmed until rules number 2 and 3 are fulfilled. What is rule number 2? To identify higher low or lower high, price must take out major structure with candle closure. Simple. And did it happen here? Did rule number 2 fulfill here? Look at it. This is our major structure. Did it take it out with a candle closure? Yes. And that becomes your break of structure in the market. That's your break of structure. Now, if you had marked this as your major structure, look at this. If you had marked this one as your major structure, simply because it took out this major structure high here, look at what you would have thought it is. Price started making lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. It took out this major structure low. You will say this is CHOCH. Whereas this is not CHOCH. This is not CHOCH. This is simply inducement because this leg didn't create 1, 2, 3 pattern. I hope you understand what we're saying. It's not CHOCH. This is inducement. It has been converted to inducement because there was no 1, 2, 3 pattern on this leg. So this high is confirmed when it took out this inducement, and this low has to meet rules number 2 and 3. And rule number 2 has already been fulfilled. Rule number 2 says to identify higher low or lower high, price must take out major structure with candle closure. It happened there. And so that's a break of structure. Now for us to mark this as our higher low, rule number 3 must also be met. And what does he say? He says higher low or lower high is confirmed only when the price leg creates a 1, 2, 3 pattern. Did this leg create 1, 2, 3 pattern? Yes. Look at it. 1, 2, 3. Simple. Simple. Okay? So that's our 1, 2, 3 pattern. So we can actually now mark this as our higher low. All right? It's as simple as that, guys. Don't complicate things. It's as simple as that. Just follow the rules. And now, for this high now to be confirmed, rule number 1 is needed. Your high needs rule number 1, but your higher low needs rules number 2 and 3. So rule number 1 needs inducement. And where is the inducement in the market here, guys? Well, this is your inducement in the market. This one. This is your inducement. Simple. And as you can see, price took out that inducement. So this high is now confirmed as our major structure high. So major structure high is confirmed here. Major structure high is confirmed right here. Simple. So what do you have in the market? You have high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. That's what you have in the market. Simple. This is the way for you to stay out of trouble, so that you are not trapped in the market. All of these that you see are just simply noise in the market. This is your actual structures in the market. Simple. Simple. Your trading range is from this low to this high. So if you are taking any trade in the market, you want to look for your OB somewhere here and OB somewhere here. All right? Tap into your OB and then go long. Simple. Simple. Please take note of what we're talking about here now, because this is very crucial. I'm taking time to do this for you to know. So now remember, this is your last higher low before this higher high on this bullish structure. Now, after price took out inducement, price continued the downward fall and came and took out this major structure low here. All right? Before this your higher high. Now, this is your actual change of character now. So this is your CHOCH in the market, guys. All right? Not this one that you mark here as your major structure low. This is your actual CHOCH now in the market. So price has taken out this major structure low here before this higher high and close below it. So what do? This uptrend is over. It's been converted to bullish structure now. So what you will do is to start looking for opportunity to go short using the 3 key rules. All right? So this low, after this change of character, cannot be confirmed until rule number 1 is fulfilled. In this case, rule number 1 was not fulfilled, because if rule number 1 is to be fulfilled, inducement is needed. And where is the inducement? Inducement is simply here, guys. Inducement is simply here. All right? For this low to be confirmed. But as you can see, inducement was not taken out. So now, before you know it, it created a new low. For this new low to be confirmed, inducement is needed. And where is the inducement in the market? Your inducement is now here. All right? For this low to be created. Please take note. This is not your inducement. Inducement is not on the right-hand side. Inducement is on the left-hand side. I see a lot of people mark the right-hand side as their inducement. This is not inducement. This is your inducement. Why is it? It is because smart money knows that retail traders will mark this as a break of structure. And after break of structure, they will find an OB here. And then they will mark as their OB. All right? For price to come down. But look at what price will do. Price will tap on your OB, give a small reaction, and then boom, it will break it. Why? Because this is smart money trap. This is simply smart money trap. So don't be trapped in the market. you need inducement. Inducement is not on the right hand side, it's on the left hand side. And as you can see, price rotated back up to take out this inducement. You can see it took it out. All right. So inducement has been taken, meaning that your low can now be confirmed. All right. So this is your low. Now, remember, your first rule has been fulfilled here. Now, but for your lower high now to be confirmed as a valid swing high, it needs rule number 2 and 3. What does rule number 2 say? Rule number 2 says to identify higher low or lower high, price must take out major structure with candle closure. Did that happen here? Yes, of course, it happened. It took out this major structure and price has closed below it. And that becomes your boss, break of structure. So rule number 2 is fulfilled there. But it's not enough for rule number 2 to just be fulfilled and then you go ahead to mark your high. No. Rule number 3 is also needed. It needs, what does rule number 3 says? It says higher low or lower high is confirmed only when the price leg creates a 1 to 3 pattern. For this higher low to be confirmed, this price leg must create 1 to 3 pattern. Did it create it? No. Before breaking this structure, it didn't create any 1 to 3 pattern. So why will you mark here now as your higher low when it did not meet rule number 3? So this cannot be your higher low. It cannot be your swing low. Your lower high. I'm sorry. This cannot be your lower high because it did not fulfill rule number 3. So therefore, because it did not fulfill rule number 3, everything here is taken out. This is taken out. This is no more valid there. Your break of structure is no more valid there. Your low is no more valid there because the high was not valid. And therefore, price created this new low. For this new low to be valid, no, we have done this new low. Did we? Yes. So it created a new low here. For this new low to be valid, inducement is needed. Rule number 1 must be fulfilled. And where is the inducement in the market here, guys? This is your inducement. All right? Because rule number 1 has to be fulfilled. And as you can see, price has taken out that inducement. So rule number 1 is fulfilled. And therefore, you can now mark, you can now identify your low as a major swing low. This is your major swing low. Now, price took out this inducement and created this high. For this high to be known as a lower high, for this high to be validated as a lower high, all right, price has to fulfill these 2 conditions, number 2 and 3. Number 2 says to identify higher low or lower high, price must take out major structure with candle closure. Did it happen here? Did it take it out with candle closure? Let's confirm that one first of all. As you can see, it took it out with candle closure. So that will become our break of structure. That's our boss. All right? And now, for this high now, rule number 2 has been fulfilled. But we cannot go ahead and mark it just simply because rule number 2 has been fulfilled. You need to wait for rule number 3. Rule number 3 says higher low or lower high is confirmed only when the price leg creates a 1 to 3 pattern. For this lower high to be confirmed, 1 to 3 pattern must be created that leads to this break of structure here. And as you can see, this is 1, 2, 3. Can you see that? So rules number 2 and 3 are properly fulfilled here. So we can now mark here as our major lower high. Simple. Simple. Do you understand? Do you understand? So if now we want to continue, we will say, okay, for this low to be confirmed, rule number 1 is needed. And what's the rule number 1? That it has to take out inducement. All right? And so if price does something like this, if price now does something like this, takes out this inducement, all right? If it takes out that inducement and then continue going like this, okay? All right? So what do we have there? Rule number one, for this low to be confirmed, rule number one must be fulfilled. That means inducement needs to be taken. And where is the inducement here? Here is your inducement, guys. Here is your inducement in the market. Simple. That's your inducement. As you can see, inducement has been grabbed. All right? Meaning that this low can now be confirmed because rule number one has been fulfilled. Now, lower high cannot be confirmed until it meets rules number 2 and 3. Rule number 2 says to identify higher low or lower high, price must take out major structure with candle closure. Did it happen here? Yes, it took it out with candle closure. And where is it? Look at it here. It took it out with candle closure, and that will become a break of structure. This will become a break of structure. All right? And after that, it's not enough to mark this high as your major high, because rule number 3 has to also be met. And rule number 3 says higher low or lower high is confirmed only when the price leg creates a 1, 2, 3 pattern. Did it create 1, 2, 3 pattern? Yes. 1, 2, 3. So your higher low can now be confirmed because rules number 2 and 3 have been fulfilled. Simple. Can you see that? So what we have in the market essentially is this is your high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Simple. Simple. Can you see that? So now let me take you to the chart and show you 1 or 2 examples of what we have been discussing since morning. Let me take you to the next chart now. Now take a look at this. Take a look at this. Please understand this properly because it's going to make a lot of sense. It will help you in your trading. All right? Now, we are still going to use the 3 rules. Let me bring back these 3 rules here so that it can actually help us. We want to use these 3 rules here. Let me bring it closer to this point. All right? So now, this is our 3 rules. Okay? Rule number 1 says, to identify the correct swing high or low, inducement needs to be CHOCH. Will you say this is your correct high? It needs inducement. Rule number 1 must be fulfilled. And where is the inducement here? Look at your inducement here. Look at it here. Price printed a high and then came back down to take out this low. And before you know it, price went back higher and came back down to take out this inducement. Simple. This is your inducement in the market. I've told you, if you don't understand what we mean by inducement, then you need to visit our playlist and watch the video on inducement. All right? Now, that's your inducement. So once rule number 1 is fulfilled, your swing high can be confirmed. So this swing high is confirmed. Simple. All right? Now, after that, your swing low cannot be confirmed yet until rules number 2 and 3 are fulfilled. And what's rule number 2? Rule number 2 says to identify higher low or lower high, price must take out major structure with candle closure. Now, did that happen here? Let's see. Did it take it out, this major structure high with candle closure? Let's see. Yes, look at it. It took it out with candle closure. And so that will become a valid break of structure. Once that happens, that means that rule number 2 is fulfilled for this higher low to be confirmed. But it's not enough for just rule number 2 to be fulfilled. Rule number 3 also needs to be fulfilled. And what is rule number 3? Higher low or lower high is confirmed only when the price leg creates a 1, 2, 3 pattern. Did it create 1, 2, 3 pattern here? Take a look at it. Did it create 1, 2, 3 pattern? Look at it carefully. Now, 1, 2, 3 pattern. All right? Did you find that? Okay? 1, 2, 3 pattern is needed. Now, so your low here is now confirmed because all the 2 rules are met. All right? All the 2 rules are met. I want you to understand that very, very well. All right? All the two rules are met. Now, this high cannot be confirmed until price takes out inducement, and inducement is here. It didn't take it out. Now, this high cannot be confirmed until inducement is taken to fulfill rule number 1. And where is the inducement here? Look at your inducement to confirm this high. This one. This becomes your inducement in the market, guys. All right? Did it take it out? All right? Price didn't take out that inducement. Did it? Yes, it took out the inducement. Look at it. Price rotated back down to come and take out this inducement. Look at it. Inducement was taken there. All right? Correct. Inducement was taken. All right? So this high can now be confirmed. This high is now confirmed as a valid high. This one. All right? Now, this low cannot be confirmed just yet until price fulfills rules number 2 and 3. Rule number 2 says to identify higher low or lower high, price must take out major structure with candle closure. Let's see. Did that one happen? Let's see whether rule number 2 happened here. This is your major structure high. As you can see, it took it out with candle closure, and that becomes your break of structure. Okay? Now, rule number 3, it is not enough to start marking here as your major swing low, because it has fulfilled rule number 2. Rule number 3 is also needed. And what does it say? It says higher low or lower high is confirmed only when the price leg creates a 1 to 3 pattern. Did it create 1 to 3 pattern here? No, there was no 1 to 3 pattern. So why will you mark here now as your higher low? It didn't create 1 to 3 pattern before creating this high. It didn't create it. Okay? So now, if you mark this because it has simply met rule number 2, you mark this as your major structure. By the time price takes out this major structure that you mark here, you will call this a CHOCH. That price has changed character. And so we are converted from this bullish structure to bearish structure. And then before you know it, look at what price will do. Price will just go up and continue with its upward trend. Because this is not actually a major structure low. Why? Rule number 3 was not fulfilled. So this is invalid. All right? This is invalid. So because it didn't create 1, 2, 3 pattern, and therefore everything will have to be transferred. This I, everything will be transferred. All right? Everything will need to be transferred. Everything there will need to be transferred. All right? To where? To this high. For this high to be confirmed, it needs inducement. So this becomes your inducement. This has been converted to inducement now. All right? To fulfill rule number 1. So this is your inducement now. This serves as your inducement. Once rule number 1 is fulfilled, which is this your inducement, taken out, now you can now confirm this high as a major structure high. Simple. Okay? Major structure high. And remember, this is your low, this is your high. So price took out inducement. All right? When it took out this inducement, for this lower high to be confirmed, it needs 1, 2, 3 pattern. For this low to be confirmed, it needs rules 2 and 3. It needs rule 2 and 3. Rule 2 says to identify higher low, lower high, price must take out major structure with candle closure. And where is the major structure here? Here is your major structure high. It has to take it out with candle closure. Did that happen there? Yes, it happened. So rule number 2 has been fulfilled. But we cannot go ahead and mark this as our higher low. Why? Because rule number 3 has to also be fulfilled. What is rule number 3? Higher low or lower high is confirmed only when the price leg creates a 1 to 3 pattern. Did this leg create a 1 to 3 pattern? Yes. 1, 2, 3 pattern. So this can be confirmed as your higher low. This one. Because rule number 3 has also been fulfilled. So this is your higher low in the market. So this is your low, higher low, I mean, your low, higher high, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then this your high cannot be confirmed just yet until inducement is needed. Rule number 1 must be fulfilled. And where is the inducement here? Inducement is here. It took it out. That's your inducement in the market to confirm the high. So this now can be our high. This is a major swing high. All right, inducement has been taken. Remember, this is a major low before this major high. And so after taking out inducement, price rotated back, continued to drop, and then came down to take out this our last significant low. All right, before this high. This is our major structural low. This is where your change of character has taken place now. All right, so this is your valid change of character. Can you see that? Because price has closed below this major structural low. All right, so these are the ways that you can stay out of trouble. If you don't want to be trapped by all these CHOCH or break of structure concepts, please follow these 3 rules. Watch this video over and over again. I bet you it's going to tremendously improve your trading. All right, guys, I want to say, if you enjoyed the video, all right, please, if you are yet to subscribe to our channel, just hit the subscribe button and become part of the family, and turn on the notification bell so that anytime we post a new video like this, you'll be notified about it. And if you are yet to join our free Telegram channel, please do so just immediately, because there we post high probability trade setups almost on daily basis. It's just that for some time now, I've not had the time. I've been pretty much busy. But we are going to start again by posting high probability trade setups on our Telegram channel. So you can become part of that family. I'm going to leave the links to all this in the description. All right, guys, I see you in our next educational video. Thank you for watching.